Just a terrible day yesterday. 1-4, but we're looking to bounce back here again today. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to PrizePicks, and today I got the NBA player props for you for Sunday, January 18th. I got 4 plays for you guys today, covering today's NBA 6-game slate. If you guys want some more picks for the NBA today, join the free Discord. I'll be dropping in a couple more free picks, so you guys can have a little bit more options to choose from when picking NBA player props today. Also, go check out my NFL player props for today. I got 2 props covering today's NFL 2-game slate for the divisional round of the playoffs. So if you guys want some more picks, plenty of stuff here to go around to get my free content. So go check out those extra options if you guys don't like some of these options here from this video. So we're going to recap yesterday's tough day in the NBA. Not a great day at all. 1-4, and really not a great day in the Discord, on the channel. Everything was just going bad yesterday. You know, one of the worst days I've had, and sometimes it goes like that. You know, we can't be hot every single day sports betting. It just doesn't work. You know, if that was a thing, you know, sports books would lose all their money. So you know, it's bad days sometimes, but we're looking to bounce back here today, and I think we got some good spots, some good games. I really do like today's slate a lot, so I really do feel good about today's slate, so I'm excited to share these picks off with you guys. But we're going to recap yesterday's picks real quick here. Just start with the one that did hit, was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, over 41.5 PRA. He finished with 46. You guys can see that we had him projected for 46, so projection was really, really strong there with Shai. Got there right on the projection with 46. Had a very big scoring day. Almost went for 40. He went 39, 4, and 3. Very strong day from Shai in a very competitive game. But then we got Bryce Sensabaugh here, under 24.5 PRA. You know, this one's probably on me. You know, this is a guy that has been hot over his last, 4 games. You know, but I was trying to play one of those season-long trend kind of situations. But he's really been shooting the ball a lot, and he took freaking 20 shots in this game, which is insane. He really was shooting the ball a lot. And he has been shooting the ball a lot over his last, couple games. So, I mean, I probably should have took that into account. And it was a favorable matchup as well with the Mavericks. Mavericks didn't really play good defense on him. But he was still making some tough shots. So, I mean, you got to give credit to him making the shots. So the shots that I did watch him take were pretty tough shots. He was just making them. And then we got Jamal Murray. Here we go. This was the one that was, disgusting. And, when I took it yesterday, it was disgusting. I took him under 42.5 PRA. He finished with 51. You know, we were hoping for the blowout here. It wasn't. The Wizards were actually leading, late in this game. So, I mean, we were hoping for the blowout narrative. It didn't happen. And, of course, he's going to smash this line. He went for freaking 42 points, But that was just me playing the blowout narrative. Didn't work. Not going to probably do that again. Taking unders on a guy against the Wizards. The first time I ever did it. And you can see why I take overs on the guys against the Wizards. Then we got Miles Bridges over 26.5 PRA. Man, he was just struggling in this game. No other way to put it. He went 4 for 12. 1 for 6 from three-point range. He just couldn't find the shot in this game. I thought he was going to go on a little bit of a heater, especially after last games against the Lakers, where he couldn't miss. This game, he was missing a lot. So, unfortunate there. Miles Bridges, he's been our guy. Wasn't in this game. And then Derek White, we should have took his PRA under. On the video yesterday, I was talking about taking his PRA under, why that was a bad idea. It turned out to be the right idea in this game. Because this dude, Derek White, finished with 12 assists and 5 rebounds. Not good. Not good for the under at all. And he only had 7 points. So, he only took 4 shots. So, it was a blowout. He didn't even play the fourth quarter, and he still smashed this line. So, just the wrong stat category we picked here. I thought for sure he was going to be a guy that was going to be playing off the ball a lot, but he ended up getting a lot of ball handling situations and getting a lot of assists as well. So, very unfortunate there. I thought we were in a great spot, but we weren't. But we're looking to bounce back today. I think we will. We got 4 props here on today's channel, on today's video. And I really think we're in a great spot to go 4-0. So let's go and jump into the player props for today. So the first player prop of the day here for the NBA is going to be Ja Morant, over 28.5 PRA. We got the Magic taking on the Grizzlies once again here in this overseas kind of, games that they're doing here. These two teams did just play a few days ago in Berlin. Now they're playing in London here. This game is tipping off at 12 p.m. EST. And that was a pretty entertaining game to watch there. It came down to the final seconds. The Magic were able to come back and get that win there after they were trailing throughout most of that game, but they were able to win it in the second half. But that was also a game where Ja Morant didn't play. So Ja Morant's back in the fold here in this game. So this should be a spot here where Ja Morant has pretty good success, assuming he comes motivated to play. I really do like this spot here with Ja Morant. I think he can have a lot of success in the mid-range and paint area because the Magic do tend to give up a lot of points in those areas. So that's the kind of guy that Ja Morant likes to live. He likes to live in that paint area, likes to live in that mid-range area. He will take some three-pointers, but he's not going to live and die by the three ball. I mean, he can get here. This line being so low, because this is usually, we've seen his line at the beginning of the year. This line's up to like 38.5, 37.5. Ja Morant just hasn't been the same guy as he once was, coming into the league. But this is still a line that he can get to pretty relatively easily, in my opinion. I really like this matchup. Plus, he didn't play in that last game, so the Magic are going to have some different game planning schemes to figure out with Ja Morant in there. I think the upside for Ja Morant's really, really strong in this game. And you guys can see on the year, he's gone over this line in 12 out of 18 games this season at 28.5. Now, he has been dealing with some injury situations, so I don't know if he's going to be full go in terms of his minutes, but he should see anywhere from 26 to 30 minutes in this game. You should easily see that amount. Unless he's going to be limited, I'm not sure, but that is definitely something to look into. Maybe he gets limited a little bit. That could be a little bit of concern. That's probably the only concern that I have is his minute stability. If he plays his normal allotment of minutes, he should really easily smash this line. He could get right around, 20 points, and he should be able to get like 6 to 7 assists and snag a couple rebounds. I think that's a realistic outcome for Ja Morant in this game. And he's the kind of guy that can score 30 points on his own. So it's not like he can get this, he needs some rebounds and assists to get over this line. No, he's a guy that can go out there and just score 30. So do I expect him to score 30? Probably not. But I do expect him to get in the 20s, and I do expect him to get some assists as well. So I really do like Ja Morant here. I think it's a great matchup. Love this spot for him. And the fact that he didn't play in that game a couple days ago, it's a new guy that the Magic haven't seen. So I do like Ja Morant here a lot here today. So jumping into pick number 2, we're going to be taking the Egor Demin under 17.5 points plus assists. Got him rejected at 14.1. So we got the Nets taking on the Bulls here in this matchup. Battle of two pretty terrible teams right now. You got on one hand, there's a lot of injuries in this game. Just to throw that out there right away. Starting with the Nets, of course, you got no Michael Porter Jr. for this game, so that's a pretty big loss. And no Zaire Williams either. So that's a pretty big loss there for this Nets roster. So that's a lot of usage to go around. And the other side of this game, the Bulls are without Josh Giddey, of course. He's been out for a couple weeks now. So, yeah, there is a lot of injuries surrounding this game on both sides. And, in terms of the game environment, this total for this game is at 221.5. So, that's not the best game environment for this game. The Bulls are actually 6.5-point favorites as well. So, I really just don't love this game environment. Specifically for Egor Demin. He's a guy that you could see on the year. He's gone under in 26 out of 35 games. But you guys can see, over his last 10 games, he has gone over it in 5 of them. So he's pretty much 50-50 over his last 10 games, according to this line. So it's one of those that we're probably going to be sweating a little bit, in my opinion. Because this is a spot where the Bulls do tend to give up a little bit more three-pointers. So Egor Demin, he's a guy that takes three-pointers. He'll take about 5 to 6 a game. I expect him to take around 5 or 6 in this game. As long as Egor Demin doesn't hit, I would say 2 to 3 three-pointers in this game, we should be looking good for the under. Now, if Egor Demin gets hot from three ball, then we're going to be sweating this one out. It's really to come down to his three-point shot here in this game, because I just don't know if he's going to get there with the mid-range and 2-point attempts. So, I think under 17.5 points and assists. He's gone under it a lot this year. But he is going to have the ball in his hands a lot more in this game with no Michael Porter Jr. He could get a little bit more assist, but I don't really see that being a possibility. I like them to be limiting Egor Demin a little bit. I like some of the other options for the Nets today. I like Cam Thomas a lot. I think Cam Thomas is going to be the main guy for this Nets roster because he's going to be out there. I like Cam Thomas a lot today for his points and PRA because I think he's going to have a bigger role. He's really going to have the full control over the offense. So I think that limits some of Egor Demin's ability to score. So it's going to be probably a one that we're might sweat. But I really don't see him going over this line, in my opinion, in this kind of game where it doesn't look great on paper in terms of the scoring environment and the pace. So, taking Egor Demin under 17.5 points plus assists. Jumping into pick number 3, we got Kevin Durant over 35 PRA. Got him at 38.2. So, this is probably going to be a fan favorite type of pick here. I think it's the first time we took Kevin Durant here on the channel this year. So, we got the Pelicans taking on the Rockets. Rockets are 13.5 point favorites, 229.5 point total. And here we are once again, looking for the blowout narrative. But this time, we're hoping it goes in our favor. We're hoping this game stays competitive for 4 quarters. Yesterday, the similar pick with Jamal Murray, we were hoping for the blowout to go in our favor, and it didn't. It was competitive. Maybe you guys want to stay away from this one just because I can't figure out these blowout games. But it's basically the same situation as that Nuggets and Wizards game. 13.5 point spread, 229.5 point total. So we're hoping this game stays competitive. If this game stays competitive for 4 quarters, if Kevin Durant plays all 4 quarters, he should be able to smash this line. Because you guys can see on screen, he's gone over this line in 22 out of 37 games this season at the line of 35. And this is a Pelicans team that does not defend small forwards at all, really well at all. So Kevin Durant's scoring upside is huge today. If you guys just want to take his points over 24.5, I don't hate that, because I think there could be a scenario where he gets close to 30 points, but he probably is missing some rebounds and assists in there. Maybe he doesn't get the rebounds and assists with this game being a blowout. So I don't hate it if you guys just want to take a singular stat from Durant today, just because less chance of the blowout probably factoring in. But I'm going to take his PRA. We're going to hope this game stays competitive. If it does, Durant should smash this line just because it's a pretty favorable matchup here. So, yeah, Kevin Durant, fan favorite. Everybody likes usually taking his over. We're going to take his over here today. So, before we get to the last pick for you guys today, real quick, drop a like on this video. Really do appreciate you guys have been killing these videos. I'm going to say it every video. Only take a second to do. So, smash that like button. Really do appreciate it. So, get to the last pick for you guys. It's going to be Zach LaVine under 20.5 points. Got him at 17.5. So this is going to be the one that we're going to be sweating probably the most throughout this entire video. The entire 4 props, this is probably the one that I'll flag as a caution. So LaVine under 20.5 points. You can see on screen he's gone under this line in 18 out of 30 games this season. But if you guys look at the beginning of this season, he's gone over you see he had a stretch where he was just smashing his line, where he was scoring 20-plus points with pretty relative ease. But you guys can see the graph, how it just starts trending downward. And, he really hasn't been consistent when it comes to scoring. And the Kings are pretty much healthy now. They got Sabonis back last game. He's going to be back in this game. Westbrook's in there. DeRozan's in there. Keegan Murray is really the only guy that they're missing. And Keon Ellis is actually questionable for this game. So that's another guy that could throw into the rotation. So this is one of those situations where I see the trend being downward here. And this isn't like the greatest matchup for LaVine. I mean, the Trailblazers actually have a lot of solid wing defenders that are going to make things tough on LaVine's scoring. So while LaVine, he can get hot at any moment. That's why I'm a little afraid, because he's a microwave type of player. He can get hot and rattle off 4 or 5 threes in a hurry. So it's scary because of the type of player that he is. But seeing how the trends are going this season for him, he hasn't been like that. So, and now that they add Sabonis back in the fold, it's going to be less and less opportunities for LaVine to get shots up. So, as long as LaVine doesn't get hot from 3-point range, he shouldn't go over this line. I expect him to have a solid game, but I just don't know if he's going to get over 20.5 points. But in terms of the pace of this game, the Kings are 2.5 point favorites, 229.5 point total, so it's not like anything jumps off the paper there in terms of a high scoring environment. I'd be way afraid if the total was in the 240s, but it's not. It's in the 230s, 229. So shouldn't be crazy amounts of scoring. Maybe there's overtime risk involved because this game will be competitive. So if we get overtime, we're going to be screwed 100%. So we're hoping this game gets over in regulation. And LaVine will probably be stuck right around 17 to 18 points. We're probably going to be sweating it out. He's probably going to come down to like his last possession, but I just don't think he's going to be able to get it. So LaVine under 17 and a half, under 20 and a half points. That's going to be the pick to close it out, the player props for today. So that's the NBA player props I got for you guys today. Once again, if you guys enjoyed it, smash the like button. Really do appreciate it. Tons of more content coming your way this week. We're going to add college basketball into the fold here this week. We're going to have double uploads, I believe, majority of the week. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. College basketball coming onto the channel for a more stable rotation as we get to the end of the NFL season. We're looking for more sports to put on the channel for you guys to get free wins. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.